Greetings from the set of Metro and More at Metropolitan Community College, serving more than 50,000 students with over 120 programs at our 8 locations in the daytime, evening, weekends, or online. Hi everybody, I'm Kent Pavelka, your host for Metro and More of what you need to know about Metropolitan Community College. An exciting half hour ahead. I think we're going to be telling you all about NC3, which is short for the National Coalition of Certification Centers, and its relationship with Metropolitan Community College, with Kirk Ahrens, Dean of Applied Technologies. Good to see you again.
Thank you. And
Al Cox back with us again. Al is the lead automotive instructor at MCC. Always like to take a brief moment to have you folks reiterate your tenure here at Metropolitan Community College, what you've done, and a little bit about your background. Who wants to go first?
Sure. From K-12 education for 33 years. I moved out of that, finally got to graduate high school, and this is my job after that, and I've been here going on 5 years at Metro.
Wow, time flies.
It does.
And Al, how long have you been here now?
Full-time with the college for a little over 5 years.
5 years.
But I was here part-time 25 years before that. So, long internship. We
are here to talk about a very important affiliation organization, important to the college. NC3, that's the short for the National Coalition for Certification Centers. It's a lot of words there. Tell us what we're talking about.
Well, when I came to Metro, Al started talking about NC3 when I had no idea what he was talking about, and in the automotive program, and I wanted to support him, so we started moving forward, and he started with Veris Pro scanners, if I remember right.
Correct.
And that was our first taste of what NC means to the college, and that opened up a world of different opportunities for us to expand the certifications not only in transportation but throughout the college in a variety of different programs, and to start making some industry relationships with our advisory committees and nationwide with other educational entities in the industry.
In short, what is NC3? What does it do?
NC3 is a national test and a curriculum. It's a partnership between the leading tool industries, where they take the industry leader, in some cases it's Snap-on, Starrett, FCA, Fiat Chrysler, Train, just to name a few. And they take the leaders and work with them using the high-end tools and the industry standard. Then they develop a curriculum that if you can understand how to use this tool, then you'll be able to use everything that is a subset of that. So it's a curriculum that's developed with industry, then delivered by trained instructors, so that they can pass the national test. And then the testing is done off-site, online, and you only get 3 shots at a test, so it's not a matter of keep taking it till you win. You have to go through the training, use the tool, understand the tool, and then pass the certification test on its use. And what that does is it helps guarantee that if a person has a certification in this piece of equipment, that they've been taught to a national standard, not just Al says I've been trained, or Metro says I've been trained. They can go anywhere with that stackable credential and say, I've taken this national training and passed it at a national level.
Is the test taken by the instructors or by the students or by both?
By both.
Yeah.
The trainers have to go to a Train the Trainer event at a national event where they're given the curriculum and how to present it and what it's all about. They actually have to pass at an 80% level. And then students, to get certified, have to pass at a 70% level.
So the college is certified as a result of the instructor passing the test.
Correct.
Yeah.
We're certified as a delivery point for the curriculum.
Okay. And then each student has to pass the test.
Correct.
Is it the same test?
Same test, scrambled up, questions changed now and then, but yeah, it's if 2 people were on the computer side by side, they would get what appears to be a different test, but it's from the same question bank.
How'd you get, go ahead.
Sure, I was going to follow up. Al hit it on the head when he said it's not just what curriculum we're creating or what we think is a good program. Every college that's in the country has a great automotive program in their minds. They develop a curriculum and they teach it. But is that curriculum really good or not, or applicable to the areas that we work in? Mm-hmm. It's a national standard that NC3 has come up with, working with the best in the industry, best in the education industry, trying to figure out what can we teach that we recognized across the country as a valuable skill. And that gives us a measurement that we prove to our employers. The students coming out of our program have certification that says they know this. And it's come full circle on us. He's been graduating students for years, and our industry has turned around and said, wow, this is a good set of skills. Can we send our existing employees to you to pick up these same certifications? So they're coming back under corporate training for us now as a whole nother part of our instructional opportunities.
You got involved in this, what, in 2009? Something like that?
11?
Yeah, around 2011.
11?
Right.
And you applied it to what initially?
The Veris Pro. It's the high-end Snap-on diagnostic tool. It's the magic computer that you plug into the car that doesn't exist. Anyway,
Yeah.
they sell this fantastic tool. It runs about $25,000 to $50,000 depending on attachments, but they offer zero training on it. So when you buy the tool, there you go. Good luck. And they quickly realize that with that kind of expense, they need to have some kind of training. And what they did is, that's how NC3 got started, was how do we do this? How do we give it some backbone? How do we make it a trainable credential that we can offer to the public?
Kirk, talk a little bit about the various programs that are involved and that
Sure.
are certified. We've got transportation skills, electrical, precision measurement, HVAC.
Oh yes, they've been very conscious about how to do this in a progressive manner. They started with transportation, torque training, wheel handling, frame alignments, wheel alignments.
Wheel alignments.
And the diagnostic tools. Because that was a core industry, and they focused on that at first, but they now branched out into multimeters, which affects the electrical industry, the HVAC industry, the processing program we have in our college. All of them can benefit from those certifications. They've specifically gone after the HVAC program with Train, a national industry recognized industry HVAC company, to develop curriculum that helps them really organize the expectations of what kind of level of performance do you want out of a technician coming out of a program. And it really helps the industry, especially the HR people, when they're trying to hire somebody. What are the skills that they're looking for? And if they have a national standard, these people can go anywhere in the country and hire from any of these colleges with these training programs and know they're getting a quality candidate. The assessments are not done by the instructors here at Metro. They're done third party, so that anybody can bring an apple to the teacher and try to get a better grade, but they can't get a certification without actually knowing the skills that they need to know. So this is expanded out, and this wonderful thing was precision measurement skills. Tape measure is a common skill in all my trades areas. Yet coming out of high school, it's not necessarily a skill that everyone's caught in their educational experience. So we have to reteach how to use a tape measure and fractions and the various skills involved with that. It seems fairly simple, but it's a critical skill to have. They came up with a set of certifications for that and a set of high quality curriculum, high quality instructional methods. And then we started talking with our math people. And I said, you know, in the Math 1240 class we offer, you actually teach tape measure skills. Would you be willing to get national training with us and start doing these certifications in your math classes? It had never been done before. NC3 said, "What are you doing sending math teachers to the training?" They'd never seen that show up before. It's normally people out of the trades. And we explained what they were doing. They loved it. They thought it was a great idea. And that's just, it's been a wonderful experience for us. We now have nationally certified math teachers at Metro teaching the classes, offering certifications in precision measurement skills. Really exciting.
To what degree has this changed and or improved the educational process at Metro?
Well, this is new. Back in 2011, when you started this was just starting to get started as a program. There are now over 300 certification centers across the country doing this, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. It's constantly, it's on a high growth path to get to all the major training areas. This gives us and our industry partners a guarantee. We have these skills in these students, and it's allowed us to lead the industry to say they knew nothing about this until we introduced it to them. But it was a result of our advisory saying we need these skills, and we looked at what are these skills that we want. By the way, they're NC3 certified. We can prove those skills to you. And now the industry partners have seen that with our graduates, so much so, as I mentioned, they want to see it in their employees.
In 4 years, Metropolitan Community College goes from no certifications to being in the top 10 in the country, number 2, right?
Absolutely.
We got a chart on that. We'll show you. That's pretty impressive.
That just makes me smile. Al and the guys have been working so hard on this. Last year, at the end of December, for the year, we were in 10th position with 400 some certifications. Correct. And we've already exceeded that at the end of end of June now.
Correct.
And we are second in the nation, which is, I'm really proud of them. That's just amazing to see that growth. And we're hoping for 1,000 certifications out of our college that our students will earn every year.
You're at 4 something now?
Currently, I got the early numbers. We're just under 600.
Under 600, jumped from 4 to 6.
Yeah, we had a good month.
Well, this speaks to how much Metropolitan Community College believes in this program, because I mean, you dove in head first.
Well, and God bless the college for coming along with us. The administration, the board. There's an expectation of certain tools and equipment we need to teach these things, and that's a heavy price to pay. But they understood the cause, and they understood we were reaching what our advisory industry partners wanted us to do, and they've supported us right down the line, from the equipment to the sending the instructors out for the training. Without them, this wouldn't have happened, and that's a huge investment from them and a commitment for us. So we are pushing the numbers so that we can make them proud.
Al, use your niche as an example. Before NC3 certification, what kind of students were you turning out relative to what the industry expected?
It was inconsistent, and it went by instructor. So if an instructor taught micrometers or a tape measure, they taught what they thought was appropriate. I'm not saying right or wrong. Then another instructor would teach the same thing but hit on different points. And so the product coming out, the student, depending on the instructor, had different skill sets. With the NC3, it makes it consistent so that every student coming out is taught to the same level. So it's been fantastic. It's been real nice. When an instructor comes in, especially an adjunct, whether they're there part-time, they'll come in and say, so how do I present the tape measure or the micrometer training? Here you go.
Is everything to the NC3 standard for certification? I mean, did it change the entire curriculum, every class, every course?
No. We were teaching it already. And we were leaving it a lot to the instructor, and some of them, would teach the test. So now they're teaching a standard curriculum, and we don't know what that test is going to be. So
that's what I meant. Has the curriculum changed in every respect?
Yes, as far as those are concerned. The NC3 is more about understanding a tool rather than using it for diagnosis. And that's the big takeaway. So we're not training how to do voltage drops or use an oscilloscope to diagnose crank sensor or how to measure whatever. What we're teaching is this is the tool and this is how the tool is used properly to get the readings you need.
Is that the same way it works with the other in the other areas, Kirk?
Oh, sorry. I love when Al starts talking about the details.
Oh,
of
Al,
the
would you
program.
like, just go ahead. You guys can chat.
No,
I mean,
I'm doing good.
seriously.
And
But I thought it was interesting what Al just said. It's about the tool.
right.
Is that what it's about in these other areas?
Overall, we're still teaching a complete curriculum of that particular skilled trades area. But within that, there are skills like the multimeter is used in automotive, it's used in electrical, it's used in HVAC. That's a tool within there that as long as they learn to use that tool and bring it up to that basic level of standards, then the electrician can learn how to check the voltage on the wiring for that light. The HVAC person can check the circuit board on their furnace. Al and his guys can check the engine computers and their voltages.
So it's largely about equipment
Yes.
and how to use it.
Right.
I understand.
Right.
And it's and we've touched on so many things. Let's talk about specific torque training. Torque is how tight you tighten a bolt
Sure.
or a nut onto a piece of equipment. And you do that in all the trades areas. There's a variety of areas that have a specific amount of pressure they want on that. It's a very simple concept, but when my instructor comes back from training with 40 years of experience and says, it fundamentally changed my idea of what torque means. It's a national, I cannot emphasize the quality of education my instructors are getting and the curriculum and assessment my students are getting that is raised a level of our programs up.
I mean, that's a great example. So what was your understanding of torque and how did it change?
Torque is the concept seems very simple. You use a wrench, you tighten it down,
Right.
it clicks or the needle moves, whatever. But if you're not using the tool right, you're going to get the wrong reading. What really changed my awareness of this was the device they use to measure clamping force when you tighten a fastener, and that's what you're doing when you're using torque, is you're applying a clamping force. You can't talk to a manufacturer, a tire outlet, any type of repair service without a horror story of a wheel fell off. And it's not just a matter of being loose, it could be over tightened as
Right.
well. One just comes off quicker than the other. And every shop around has had that problem. And it's not because they build a bad product. What is the big concern is improper use of a torque wrench and not knowing how to use it. And the examples are just endless. So yeah, I was in the business for 40 years, never had a wheel fall off or come loose, and looking back after going through the torque training, I'm thinking I was a pretty lucky guy.
So in the old days, each instructor would kind of teach what his experience was and how tight to make that thing.
Sure.
Exactly.
And now it's a little more scientific.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's led us in different directions. With exposure to industry, industry is now recognizing us, the Chrysler recognition. You might want to explain more about how they came in for us.
Chrysler, FCA, Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, there's a shortage of technicians, nothing new there. They're looking at how do they think outside of the box and how do they get technicians coming into the business. So they went out and partnered with NC3 and said, who's doing it right? How do we get into these programs? How do we build partnerships? And FCA came to us and said, how would you feel about being a CAP local program?
Meaning?
This is their Chrysler automotive professional student going through factory training they're delivering the online content that Chrysler offers their technicians. We're offering it through our automotive training at Metro, and they're receiving the same training and getting credit for that so they can transition into Chrysler programs. And it sounds like we're going towards Chrysler, and not the case at all. Because when you look at the curriculum that FCA brought to us, yes, it's presented by Chrysler, but it's not Chrysler specific. So it helps the independents, it helps the people going to
So it's
the
an
other
industry,
dealers.
it's an industry standard.
Industry standard, and that's part of the concept is it has to be industry standard. Chrysler just happens to be the one that's offering it. What they did is they looked at who's the big players in NC3, who's NATEF certified, who's got all their ducks in a row. And we were the 15th center rolled out nationally just last year.
Boy, that's great. There are other certifications. There were other options, right? Why go with NC3?
Well, we don't turn anything away that's valuable to the industry. We're, as you mentioned, NATEF certified, but we also use student ASE testing of our automotive students. We have OSHA 10-hour and 30-hour classes. We have EPA refrigerant licenses and HVAC. So if there's a national standard we can measure our people against, it just gives them value as graduates of our program, and it supports our industry's impressions of us as quality educational programs. I mentioned HVAC. One of the extra features of NC3 is they have experts in training facilities. And so when the Construction Education Center was being planned and programmed with the architects, they actually came into the process with us to help us with the design and layouts of our labs for the new building. And that was an invaluable help because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for us to build a construction education center. And we really wanted to do it right. And they actually brought their mechanical engineer in and spent time with us, brought industry partners to the table with us to help us make really good decisions on that building.
Any way to quantify how better prepared students are to do the job as a result of this certification process?
Yeah. Our enrollments are way up. We've increased enrollments 50%. Industry is coming to us. We can't fill the need quick enough, and we're getting more students into the program and getting them on the job quicker with the essential training they need at a quicker pace.
And industry, when we had maybe a dozen people at our advisory meetings when we started this, and
Correct.
35 or so at the last meeting. Right. Industry partners willing to take their time, come to us and share their thoughts and needs on our program. And that's the exciting part. We're getting donations from them. We're getting their support with, in fact, putting students in their dealerships for internships. And
Are you talking local?
Locally.
35.
Locally, yeah.
Wow.
Does
So word travels.
yes, yeah.
We're doing something better and different.
That's great. There were some key people besides Al involved here at the college to get this going. I thought maybe you'd like to talk about the roles that Kathy Brunkhorst, Bob Boyer, Don Gilliland.
Oh, sure. As this
all
expanded out, Kathy was one of the math teacher that was helping contextualize our math 1240 for the applied technology programs, and she's the first one we thought of, and she was a champion for us. She went out to, was it Oregon or Seattle? What was
I believe
Washington?
it was Oregon, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was way out west. And she got the national training with one of her other math teachers, and they are now teaching our students and getting certifications as we speak. So that's been wonderful for us. Bob Boyer has been really championing the Impact Grant Diversified Manufacturing effort, and in that he's sought after the certifications multimeter, and he's looking, when he's certified, he'll be doing precision measurement, if I remember right.
I think so.
And also he's helped us out at looking at the HVAC training. He was the first one to go out there for us on that, and so a wealth of information for us as we get the new building started up, and we keep going with our manufacturing effort, which will be the big effort down at the South Campus after construction and electrical move out and move up here.
And
Oh, and Don Gilliland.
Don, yeah.
He was the first one to take off. He and Matt Wager both sought out national training after they saw how successful automotive was, and they've taken it up in diesel. And they're doing scanning and precision measurement skills and torque.
Correct.
And I think the word is getting around. I think hopefully Auto Collision will be joining them as well in the future.
Where do you go for training? Various places?
Yes, throughout the country, there's like 5 or 6 different places
Correct.
We're hoping that once we get a new building in place, we might be good enough to offer the training here for a national center.
That'd be nice.
Would that be like a permanent thing?
Well, it would certainly save on some travel.
Yeah, it would. So there are 5 or 6 centers where all this is taught?
Right.
I see.
Colleges that came in early on that raised their level of facilities, of equipment, training their staff, and were involved with the industry partners as they were developing the curriculum from the get-go. So they were there, and we just hope that we can join that team.
Well, you know, the point is here to get the word out about certification.
Yes.
And, you know, this can go over people's heads a little bit, but this is important.
Oh, yes. And it's helping secure our relationship with our industry partners. And most of all, it's sending our students out with a set of credentials they can take anywhere in the country. It will be recognized, and the skills they're getting are good, high-quality skills.
You want to talk about some of the partners who have shown interest and partnered up?
As far as local industries, Performance, I'm sorry, Baxter's has been a big partner. Woodhouse has been a big partner. Certified Transmission has always been there for us. If they're doing business in the area, I've probably been in contact with them.
These people are basically saying, here's what we need, right?
Yep.
Right.
And the certification provides that.
Yes.
So then what does the partnership consist of beyond that understanding?
Well, they keep coming in. This is not a static set of certifications. They're constantly adjusting and adding and correcting where they need to. So we started with torque certifications and Scanner Pro, but again, one of the first things, measurement skills, and that came out of our advisory groups across the country, and that's when NC3 came on board and said, okay, here's a set of certifications for precision measurements. The interesting thing, it wasn't enough. Once they got a hold of that, the feedback from that was that we need more. We need higher precision for the milling machines and the lathes where they're doing 10,000ths of an inch precision measurements. They're using complicated skills. They're looking at 3D printing. It's a common set of skills being used in a variety of our programs now, from the Fab Lab to my mechanical design program. There's actually a certification for that now. They constantly keep pushing the boundaries based on what industry wants and what education can provide.
Kirk, thank you. Al, you too, the National Coalition of Certification Centers at Metropolitan Community College. Thank you for being with us again on Metro and More. Our goal is to better acquaint you with the mission, the reach, and the leadership of the college. I'm Kent Pavelka for Metropolitan Community College. If you have comments or questions about the program, please email us at metrovision@mccneb.edu. Thanks for watching.
This has been a MetroVision production produced by Metropolitan Community College.